everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Legacy Part 8. Today is August 31st, 31st, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played here over the last 2 years, or you can join us anywhere audiocasts are made available for free under the same moniker. And that is, of course, if you would prefer to just carry us around in your pocket while you're doing your daily deals. So, other than that, if you already support the show on Twitch and YouTube, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures. We have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard where we answer questions not only for the community or from the community, but also from each other. So, if you or anyone that you know has any questions for myself, these regular cast of individuals, or our special guest bonus stage Rob, consider dropping that question in the Discord to the side, or the chat to the side, or you can join us on our Discord, which is found in the links either below or as well in the side chat. Other than that, you can also go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. We got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, we have shower curtains, and now we even have face masks. I always put it on upside down, but face masks that have the blessing of Tiamat upon them. They come in all of her chromatic, glorious colors, and all of the proceeds from each of those face masks ends up going towards COVID research. So if you would like to help support the show and also help support a good cause, that's always an option before you. Other than that, that is it for my spiel. So hey RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, but today I'll be playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I will be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hoi! I'm Cyber. I play Arjhan, the Draconian Fighter. He, him.
Hey, I'm Wings. I'm playing as Coriander, the Elgin Paladin.
I'm Robin. I forgot where my button was. I'm also known as Bonus Stage Rob, and I'm playing Phillip, the Halfling Fighter and overall good boy.
Yes. And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, a lot of you had left the Grove of the Hermit, making your way towards the Manor of Moonstier, the last place that you all knew Phillip to be located at. Upon entering into the manor, you were able to reconvene with your dear friend Phillip, but not before you ended up having to go through beforehand, and then proceeded to go through a series of trials put together by the grandmother matron Alira herself to really put you to the test to see if you were worthy of helping her in her time of need. And where we last left off last session was with this grandmother hag taking a bunch of trunks and bags and other moving apparatus out of the manor, collecting it all, turning it into a small side satchel, and then making her way towards your group, where she informed you of the name of the Nothing, the Dark Star, all of these things being Caius. And that is where we are going to start up from today's session. So, you are all standing in rather weary looking after such a troublesome combat in front of this ancient looking woman. She stands roughly about 5'4", and has wrinkles on her face that just look like they are deep recessions where her eyes would be. You can't actually see what color her eyes are, and she is just like the epitome of what you would assume a caricature of this elderly woman to be. She's wearing very colorful but very old looking clothes, has a large hat on that has a tasteful feather kind of protruding from it, and she is standing before you. So it's yours.
You said you were going to show us the sickness that blights this land?
And she nods, and she says, It's something you're actually quite familiar with, if I do recall. And she takes her hand, and you see her like poke at her side, but her fingers easily tear through the fabric of her clothing, and you hear the sound of tearing flesh as she kind of digs around in her own side and then pulls out a blackened worm from herself. And then
Dude, what the fuck?
sets
If I
it
was
in
a
front
more
of you.
charismatic character, I'd make a joke.
Oh, gods, that is just vile.
Doesn't look healthy.
Wait, are those the same worms that Phillip saw?
Yes, they are.
Wait, so are you one of them then?
She chuckles a little bit and says, "That I am not. I am a representation of the land. And this is the sickness that has become of it. I started finding them like small mites, fleas, but it's a sickness that seems to lie deeper than that."
Phillip idly shifts his weight off of the 1 foot and looks at the ground and just sort of kicks the dirt a little bit.
Caelum will just pick it up and stretch it. It's like the worm we found all those like months ago inside the glass vial, right?
It is. It looks exactly the same. This is a mess you're going to have to clean up. I am rather sorry to say. And she will clap her hands together, and when she does, there is almost like a watercolor wash over the sky above you that was once this wooded dome, and it turns to a almost familiar night sky. For you four keeps, this is outside of the city of Shroudport, about several days' journey. There is a waystone that extends out of the earth, and this is a waystone that you all remember being, well, ambushed at by a group of individuals.
Oh, that's where our worm got away, didn't it?
That is
Yeah.
indeed. Now,
Where the bard, the human, and the half-orc ambushed us? No, it was a half-elf, sorry.
yes. Now, tied up against this waystone, you see that there is a unconscious human and an unconscious half-orc, both of which who had been quite handedly defeated by our very own Four Keeps. And Phillip, you actually recognize these individuals. These were the two that were supposed to escort you on your way to the Gated Glen.
Right.
And the lot of you see these two unconscious bodies just resting, and from the dirt near them, there is a brief disruption as a small black worm kind of pokes up and then begins inching its way towards these unconscious two. And you see it goes towards the ankle of this half-orc and burrows itself into them.
Are we the
Whoa.
baddies?
We made the mistake. Wait, we made this mistake, right?
Technically speaking, it was Peter's, or whatever his name is, cat.
Well, that's not like you gave them the worms. I mean, they just took an opportunity and...
I don't really think assigning the blame is going to help anybody here.
True.
Yeah.
What's the status on these two then? Are they still roaming, or...
Well, they were basically the husks of what once were men when I saw them. I mean, it didn't even look like they were alive. It just looked like they were skin puppets almost.
Phillip,
Wait,
you had traveled with these individuals for like a week and a half. They seemed fine up till a point.
Well, I mean, after a while, they seemed like that.
So wait, why did these individuals take you here to this?
Well, they chased
it-
me.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the hags gave me shelter.
I'm sorry. Is it offensive to call you a hag?
Oh, my
Alira
gosh, I
just
am...
kind of shrugs and like, no, you're fine.
Okay.
So those things are still out there.
Well, then it may be
Growing
more
in
than just
number.
them, right? Yes.
Growing in number every day.
Oh shit.
What can be
So-
done?
Yeah, can they be saved or are we just killing these fuckers?
These are not individuals that can be saved. These have already died and taken their lives back to the worms. This
So-
is something that is no longer within my wheelhouse. They are gaining strength here on the plane, in our realms.
Can you like tell us how many there are?
And she looks at you, Gwen, and she squats down just a little bit so she is at eye level with you. And she says, "Count the number of stars in the sky. There you will find your answer.
The worms or the people infected by worms?
The worms."
I meant the people infected by the worms.
And with that, she says, "I am unsure."
Is there a way to tell who's infected, or is there a gestation period before that?
If there is an individual who is on death's doorbed, and one of these worms comes into contact with them, they are no longer who they once were. They become part of Caius.
And what about those who are more of the undead persuasion? Do they take Artie from the dead, or...
And she thinks about it. I do not believe so. As he takes control of the moment of death. But if you are already dead, then there is nothing to hold on to.
Shit.
Right, this sounds like Raven Queen bullshit. Is anyone else feeling that?
Raven Queen adjacent bullshit.
I had an inkling. Alira, this is something that has been on our docket, as it were, since the beginning of our career, thanks to a certain moon goddess. She, too, told us that this was something we were going to have to deal with. But she neglected to tell us how.
And Alira says, "There is no neglect in a sense of genuine unknowing."
I see. And are you in a state of genuine unknowing?
She nods as well.
Well, I know one way we can take care of it. And Caelum will kind of swing the worm around his finger before crushing it with magic. Steel and sorcery?
But surely these all came from somewhere, right? One of you called it the
Dark Star.
Star.
Yeah.
Where
worms.
is that?
It's in space.
Well, then how did they get here?
How do moon...
You're muted. The cat muted you.
I noticed. How do moonstones and like meteors get here? They fall from the sky. At least I assume. I don't know. So they could be anywhere and everywhere, basically. Right? Am I talking on my ass here?
No, you're exactly right. Unless we take a very strong approach, implement contact tracing and everything, make sure that everybody maintains the distance from everybody. We're
Would
not going
be
to be able to get
optimal
all of it.
then
We're
6
not
feet
going to
apart?
be able to get everybody in Alira to follow that. It's unrealistic.
Right. I mean, they'd
Arjhan,
have
that
to wear.
sounds very well thought out and scientific.
Right. We could have everyone wear face coverings.
There should be
Or
at
breathe
least,
on each other.
I don't think that protected his ankle.
Fair.
We're gonna have to have everyone cover their ankles.
Everyone needs to stay home for about 2
Sensible.
weeks.
Everybody take the Achilles approach.
He died.
Yeah, because he didn't cover his
Learn
fucking
from
ankle.
his mistakes.
Everybody in Alira just starts wearing ankle weights.
We're gonna get so jacked.
We're gonna get all 80s up in here. Everybody's got like ankle warmers.
Oh my god.
The maniac.
The national dance is just the flash dance.
Go to pull the go
on
to
a Saturday night.
pull the rope for the water to come down. It's just worms. Oh no!
That's a nightmare.
And
Alira.
shelving that in the back of the brain space.
Worse than the cup of spiders.
All right,
Alira.
back on topic.
Oh.
Ugh.
By your description, these worms operate as a hive mind. Do we know where the central nervousness is, or are we to assume that that is the floating ball of worms in space? Which may or may not be a metaphor.
I would assume the ball of floating worms in space would be their center. That is where they seem to come from, or at least where they are most likely to go back to.
So
How do we get to space?
Right.
there's a spell circle on Olivia's ship.
That's not space. That's on the water.
No, but I did get Cori to the moon.
That's how I got to the moon the first time.
You
Oh,
went
yeah.
to the moon?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, the world is round.
That I still don't believe that.
I knew it.
With my own eyes, Arjhan.
Phillip, my boy.
Well, it just doesn't make sense. I can't see Shroudport if I look in the direction of Shroudport. If it was flat, I would... Anyway.
All right, guys, let's not bug me with this science bullshit, okay? What do we need to do right now?
Everybody to implement ankle coverings.
That's not gonna happen, Arjhan.
We need to take care of what we can take care of now. Find the worms that are here on Alira and expunge them. Maybe
If-
find some way to utilize the circle on Olivia's ship to get to the moon and see what we can do against the giant ball of nothing.
But even if we got to the moon, that still doesn't solve the problem of us getting to Caius.
Philip, what did you come here to deal with in the first place?
The Lord Keeper in Shroudport sent me to warn the folks at the Gated Glen of Stenfazeno's fate.
I
You don't
see. Has
suppose
that been
he-
accomplished yet?
Well, no, I was here. You don't think the Lord Keeper knew my companions were minions of Caius, did you?
Well, you've spent a lot more time around him than we have.
He's a bastard.
I can't imagine that he would have. When I met him all this time ago, he seemed to be a decent fellow.
Right, but then he went and outlawed magic.
Yes, he cited that as like a response to essentially having a bad run-in with magic users, and it's more of a discriminatory thing now, and I advocated for the usefulness of magic in Shroudport, and instead of throwing me in jail, he essentially hired me.
Philip, did you ran from those two, correct? You didn't dispatch them?
No, I ran. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know if I could dispatch them. I mean, if you had seen Stenfazeno, I did what I could, but it was horrific.
I'm
Mother
sure you
El-
did your best, dude.
Mother
you
Eldest, What time is it now, actually, on the material?
She thinks about it. Just be a little bit past midnight.
Same day.
Well, if it's past midnight, that means it's the next day.
Sorry, Cori, you had something to say?
Phillip, did you speak to those two?
We were on the road for a few days, yes, and
You traveled together.
yes.
They had already been infected by then, and they were acting normal?
As far as I could tell, yes, I didn't notice anything unusual until they threatened me, and
It could be anyone.
Wait. If they're on the verge of death, would they register as undead, do you think? Because Cori can find that shit out.
We can't know until we've tested it.
They
should find
are
them.
a perversion of life and death. This will not show up as undead in any of your registers.
Maybe there's some glasses we can get or something and enchant them to see the truth. And I need bubble gum.
I can try.
Lyra
something.
reaches around in her pockets. She
I only
hands
have caramels.
Sorry, these are all just pineapple candies. Yes.
Arjhan, do you have any empty vials?
Yes. Alira, do you have any particular insight as to how we would see who's infected?
Your friend is not far from understanding. If you did have a special set of glasses or some other sort of extra vision that would allow you to see something's true nature, you would be able to identify who was who.
It'll take me some time. But
These creatures are aberrations.
that's gonna take me a long ass time.
Are you suggesting off-ear lenses?
Quite possibly.
Glasses of true seeing. 6th
Or
level.
casting true sight.
Or
I need to put an order in with research and development.
How much time do we have, Alira?
And she thinks to herself, at least... I would say at most a year.
And how much time before winter overtakes the Feywild?
And at that, she kind of stiffens up and looks towards you and says, for that you have 8 days on this plane.
I'm sorry?
Soon, only spring will be left for the Bastion. Summer has been here for quite a while now, but soon they too will fall. I'm sure you've heard it. Their death throes, the thunder that's been plaguing the northern lands. When heat meets cold, a cacophony occurs.
I know that. The Tempest taught me that.
The astral plane certainly didn't do us any favors in our time frame.
Being here is making me very nervous.
Well, it shouldn't be. This is going to be your home soon enough.
What?
The fuck does that mean?
What it means is, I have lived a long time. And the house is a house, magical as it may be, but my home is myself.
Are you giving us a house?
Its name is Gideon, yes.
I'm gonna turn to face everyone else, speaking in a low tone, but not low enough because Gwen can't
Stage
whisper.
whisper.
Is anyone anyone else bothered by the fact that this girl Hag tried to just kill us and now she wants to give us a house?
Not sure that she actually did try to kill us, but I am worried about the time that we're spending here, especially since Phillip entered this house a few months ago. A few weeks ago, months ago. 4 months.
Shit. Gwen turns back. I mean, if you want to give us the house, we'll definitely take it.
There's too many bad memories for me in this place.
Where will you go?
Wherever the wind takes me. I may yet return to the Feywild and see what has befallen it there. But
may I contact you anytime I need to?
Yes, you may. It's just till the end of summer. Spring's defenses are in the process of rallying. But they have been too complacent, too young in the year's wheel.
If you plan to return to the Feywild, can you also bring us there?
This I could do.
Can we have some time to prepare?
You have all the time in the world, Coriander. Use it as you wish.
We don't, but we don't.
Does the house transcend time? Because if so, I mean, that's ample
If
time.
so, can we pop out 4 months ago?
Gideon is not able to control time. I, however, am able to keep you in one place. When you go back to the material plane, no other time will have passed since you had entered into my halls, except for you, young Spice Bottom. I do regret having kept you here for so long, but I needed to make sure that these four came by.
I need to send some sendings out.
Yeah.
I still have one more season to collect.
When we pop out, you should check in which direction it's pointing.
Cori nods.
Is that what you wish? To return to the material plane?
Can
And
we
she, like-
have a bit more time here, say about 7 hours?
8 hours, please.
House is yours.
Are
Take all the
you...
time you want. And she will walk over to you, Cori, and she will reach into her pockets, and she pulls out a key. And this key is a silvered key that has onyx teeth and a small tourmaline gem inserted into the end handle. And she says, if you're planning on being gone for a while, just make sure to lock up. And she hands you the key.
You don't have to tell me about locking up when you go.
Is this gonna remain on this plane and we can just, like, come back anytime, anywhere, or is it just here? Or does it follow the moon things?
And she smiles when you ask if it follows the phases of the moon. And she says, if you've lived long enough, sometimes you need a little bit of a routine, otherwise you start going barmy. For me, that was making sure that the house moved from location to location at set dates. Kept things regular, kept it routine. In all reality, well, you can pick up to 8 spots that you are familiar with, and Gideon will take you where you need to go.
Amazing.
Is this a... Have you ever read Howl's Moving Castle? the magic shop, it was just a door to the castle instead of just an actual place.
She smiles.
Oh, like things that make you say wow?
Don't say that.
Her smile immediately fades. And you hear her in Sylvan say, "God's damned imposter."
Oh.
She spits on the ground. Does not like Arillo.
Is the location limited to the natural plane?
And she looks at you again and says, "Places with which you are familiar. If it is not on the same plane, there is a chance that Gideon might have cold feet in taking you there."
House on the moon. House on the moon. House on the moon.
Well, depending on where we go, I think Gideon's going to get cold regardless.
I don't know, what phase of the moon is it going to be if the house is on the moon?
It's gonna be a full moon regardless.
Yeah, no.
What happens if you put a werewolf on the moon?
No dogs allowed on the moon? God.
So, guys, do we need to figure anything else out with this, or can we take a nappy poo?
Well, I think Cori has some decisions to make. Well, we all need to rest for a little bit and get prepared to do a lot of stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
Or as soon as we step out.
Mother matron lady, when are you going back to the Feywild?
And she says, "I was thinking of heading out soon. But if you all still require me to be here, I guess I can wait.
Solid.
Gideon would be able to take you without me needing to be here, but if there is a necessity for it..." "then that I can accommodate."
Well, stay the night, or until we're done sleeping, and we'll make a decision in the morning. And she looks back to everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd rather not us chance losing a few days because the house has cold feet from trying to get into a place that's not the material plane.
Yeah.
Would you like some tea?
"That would be lovely, thank you."
Can we walk
And
towards the house?
when you walk towards the house and get close to it, Alira actually waits for you to open the door first. This is no longer her house. She doesn't get to just open up the door and come on in. And when you arrive inside, all of the picture frames and portraits and landscapes and other things decorating the wall are all gone. All of the furniture has also been removed, it would seem. And this is an empty house.
Fuck.
Does Gideon provide our needs for us, or do we have to go shopping?
Please remove your shoes.
Boots off.
Thank you.
My feet are dirtier than my shoes.
I don't wear shoes.
Phillip's taking off his shoes.
Gwen removes her shoes.
Shoes off.
Thank you.
It's become a shoes off house. Got it.
And Alira, as she's like kicking off some very almost slipper looking like shoes, just, "They hate mud."
About my previous question, do we need to go shopping for furniture, or does Gideon provide
Gideon will
everything?
provide anything you end up needing. Room size, anything inside that you need. Whether it's shelves, desks, workbenches, that sort of thing.
What about books?
Books you will have to fill in on your own. Unless you want more books on home design than you can possibly stomach. They make for easy reading.
Do you have a copy of This Old House?
And you hear the sound of a drawer opening. And you look over towards where an end table has just shown itself to be revealed. And it opens up and there is a copy of a book called This Old House.
Sweet. Caelum will make tea for everyone.
It is written by the Brothers of Property. So, you are in this small kitchen area. Caelum is making tea for you all, Phillip, and an ancient hag mother. It's a pretty nice time. You know, you can hear Cybra outside barking, Todd giving his Todd noises.
Gwen's like, shotgun first pick at the rooms, and she's gonna run upstairs.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
It's a shotgun.
So Gwen is running up the stairs. Cyber, you're saying that goats bray?
Scream.
Scream?
Sorry, I'm just imagining, like, yeah.
The goat, he screamed like a man. I am so tired! I am so tired all the time!
Okay, so Gwen, you're rushing upstairs. You see that this hallway extends farther than you would expect a hallway in a house of this size to go. The floor is a very nice repeating pattern of reds and golds along the ground that just sort of seem to stretch ad infinitum off in the distance. And along the right and left hand sides, you see that there are doorways.
Gwen, is going to go and try and find... I was going to say she's going to try and find the biggest room, but that's a really dick move since she's so small. She's going to find... she's going to go for the first room.
Okay. And when you enter into the first room, you hear the sound of Gideon. Hello. Would you like to register this room to Guinevere Stompfoot?
Yes, please.
Dimensions. Small, medium, large.
Fucking large.
And the room that you are in expands to be effectively like the size of your chieftain's tent, if not a little bit bigger.
Oh my god. Alright, I want a fucking big bed. I want a chair for not reading. I want a bookshelf that I can keep my bullshit on. I want a rug, preferably like, I don't know, fake. Make it a bear. No, make it a boar. No, make it a bear. Okay, and then I want knickknacks on the shelves, but like trophies from like animals, but not real animals, like just fake shit. And then I want a head on the wall, and I want it to be a dragon, but like a small dragon, but not a real dragon.
Sure.
Is that insensitive to Arjhan?
Yes.
Okay. Shit. And then she's like, oh, wait, no, don't do that. Wait. No, I can't do an owl bear because that'd be... All right, forget the head on the wall. Think about it.
Okay.
If we can hear Gwen from the kitchen, Caelum will just go, Gideon, can you shrink Gwen's room by 10 feet?
Manual override not accepted.
Oh. Pretty please.
Manual override not accepted.
I tried.
Please register user.
Register user Caelum?
Caelum registered.
Please shrink Gwen's room by 10 feet.
Manual override not accepted.
Then what did I register for? Where's the end user agreement? Let me see the end user
Would you
agreement.
like to opt out of email subscription?
Would you like to purchase WinRAR? So, Gwen, Your room comes along beautifully as you intended. There is a nice fireplace, and in front of that fireplace is a very large leather-bound chair. And there are 2 rugs on your floor. There is a bear rug and a boar rug, but their arms are extending out towards each other to make it look like they are holding hands.
Oh my god.
All of the shelves that you have asked to be covered in knickknacks and trophies are there, but barren. You must fill them with your own knickknacks and trophies.
Phillip runs upstairs to where Gwen is.
Look!
And
Behold my beautiful room.
Phillip, when you enter into this room is very much the room of Gwen Stompfoot.
Yes, that's about right. It's lovely.
Should I add anything?
Some sort of mounted head on the wall, though I can't think of what.
Right, that's what I didn't want to do a dragon because that's really insensitive.
No, Arjhan.
I know, but that was the first thing I thought of. If I do like an owl bear, that like JD and that.
Oh,
bad.
that's right.
Like, I could do a bear.
Hmm.
But I already have the bearskin rug. It's fake, by the way. I don't know. I'll think about it.
It'll come to you.
Yeah. How are you doing, by the way?
Oh, I'm fine. Being used as bait. Ended up fighting alongside of you. Now I feel like I'm strangely overstaying my welcome.
Well, I mean, was kind of nice that I got to be the prince rescuing the princess.
I wouldn't put it in so many words, but sure.
I mean, I'm sorry that you were used to. Honestly, I thought that. I was worried that you were like being tortured or something, and when I found out where you were, I was really anxious to come find you.
Well, thank you. Things were going great until I was attacked by worms, in case you're wondering.
Good, yeah. What was it like in Shroudport?
Well, the Lord Keeper, I thought I was getting through to him. I mean, he's so against magic use, and I feel like it was the one thing the city needed, and he was going on about, at dinner, he went on about the floating city and not being allowed to be in the higher floating city of Vascor, and he was stuck on the lower city, and he was a member of this thing called the Shades. It was a whole... Anyway. Do you think he knew?
Probably. He is kind of a dick. I mean, like, I was in that city for a while, and he was always a dick to me. I mean, I was kind of a dick to him, too, but...
Have you encountered anybody that was working directly with Caius?
No. Yes. Sort of. Who? Tell me, Arjhan.
Isn't it the Goliath dude?
Was he working with them?
A little bit.
Yeah. Remember Chorin? That asshole that tried to make a revolt against me at the tribe? Yeah, he was kind of working with them. Like, I think he was trying to use them, and it did not work out well for him. He's dead.
Well, then maybe Shroudport's in worse shape than I thought.
Are you going to go back there?
Somebody has to. I mean, maybe I asked too many questions, but he all but sent me away off to the gated glen, and oh gods, maybe they're in trouble. I don't know.
Look, we gotta deal with the Feywild stuff. That's
Oh,
like,
yes. No, of course. That is much more important. I
well,
just...
what I'm thinking is, I mean, you're incredibly capable, and I trust you to deal with this problem in Shroudport, or at least keep it under control.
I'll do my best. I don't know what the Lord Keeper will do when he sees me. I'm sure those two weren't the only nothings that he has under his employ.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're probably gonna have to go in like stealthily. Stealth mission. You think you can do that?
Maybe recruit some people to help me form
Yeah.
my own party.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. You could get Fang and the Tabaxi that worked for him. I don't know if the turtle's gonna do any work, but I mean, he made a great sandwich. And that's all I really remember. It's been a while.
You sure you're not just hungry?
Gwen giggles as if she thought of something naughty and decided not to say it.
What was that laugh? That laugh's never good.
No. I was just, no, I'm sorry. It would undercut the moment. I'll tell you later. I think that's a good idea. I mean, like, you work for Arjhan's company, right?
Yes.
So, like, I mean, recruit other people.
Phillip didn't forget. Rob forgot. It's been a year.
Find some other people. Make, get an adventuring party together and show them what's up. I mean, we're powerful, but we don't really know what we're doing. I mean, you're no worse off than we are, to be honest.
I don't think that's entirely true, judging by the way you all fought together.
We've been together for like a year. It feels like a year. I mean, we've been fighting together a lot. It takes time to get there. You just gotta practice and trust them, and I mean, find people you can trust, and then,
Easier said than done, given the circumstance, but, well, you've given me a few people to go off of, and I'll see what I can do.
I believe in you. I mean, you're a kick-ass fighter now.
Yeah.
You been practicing?
Oh, yeah. Of course. This isn't my first job. It just happens to be the one that went horribly wrong.
Have you been practicing other things too?
Well, I took up archery for a little bit, and hunting is a lot of patience, and I don't know.
Well,
Didn't really take to it.
yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. I meant the sex thing.
Guinevere,
What?
there's work to be done.
Gwen, you just hear a nice.
Do I hear it?
No, it's just Gwen.
Oh, okay. I was like, Gideon, you horn dog. What?
I'm just wondering.
Gwen, the house talks.
I'm used to being watched.
Would you like to enter privacy mode?
Oh my god, yes, please.
What?
The walls you see get a lot of foam padding along the sides of them.
This is the best house ever. I mean,
Thank you.
if you're interested. Got some time. And we didn't really get to pick up where we left off last time.
It's still listening.
I have two spirits in my head, so someone's always going to be listening.
That didn't make me feel any better.
All right. I mean, if you're not interested, that's fine.
No, that's not what I meant. I just...
The house will enter into a snooze mode, where it is effectively a time set of do not disturb, but they will accept no further commands until that time is up from you in this room.
Yeah,
This is
half
your
the night.
room. This is your house. Feel free to get weird with it. Anyways, back down at the tea house. So Phillip and Gwen have run off to check out a suite room, which you can hear. You could hear like kind of muffled far away, and now you just can't hear them at all. And Alira just says, "Privacy mode," and just sort of like chuckles to herself.
This is a nice tea made from the leaves of hibiscus collected from Greenreach. Please enjoy.
And Alira, again, just kind of smiles as she is sipping this tea. She's fairly certain she knows what tea this is. Is that their leg tea?
No, it's actually hibiscus tea.
Okay.
I have a tea set. I'm gonna use it, buddy. Leg tea is for friends and enemies only.
She's neither?
She's a guest in our house.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Cori is going to seek counsel from Alira.
Okay. I would say that since Alira isn't necessarily wanting to be super involved with your guys' conversations about, like, what your next plan is, she's just gonna offer to cook you something. She's a grandma, after all. She sees that, you kids are starving. Probably after working so hard today.
That's very kind of her.
Yeah. So you would find her in the kitchen. And then Arjhan and Caelum are having tea in the dining area. Or just like in a little sun corner.
Gwen and Phillip are having dessert.
Gross.
And that's what she was so hungry for. At the end of the 8 hours, first thing I'm going to do is find out which direction the Corvid skull is pointing. And if there are any likely candidates as to where that could be pointing to, then we should try and find a way to get there as quickly as possible. Can I summon Ampleforth in here?
You can. It'll take you some time. And then you will have a horse running around the inside of your building.
I'm going to use a 3rd level spell slot to summon Ampleforth and send a message to my father telling him I have only 1 season left and I'm going to be there as soon as possible.
Okay. And
actually, he doesn't know that I'm missing my seasons. I'm telling him I have 1 more thing to do.
okay. And to be fair, again, Ampleforth does not really look like a horse so much anymore. It's like a shadowy overlay of what could have been described as a horse-like creature, but now it's mostly like a collection of floating bones and vine.
Shar promised me that he would look normal.
Oh yeah.
Does he not?
That is what he looks like to you.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And then everybody else sees normal. Okay. And what, like, Ampleforth is supposed to, like, match whatever season she's in. So, like, you know, he's got, like, a tawny, kind of like a buckskin coat and, like, long red hair with, like, leaves hanging out of it. It's got like the antlers going on. I didn't think I was a horse girl, but I keep on doing horse girl things. So Cori's definitely a horse girl, but shrug. So I send that message to my father.
Okay.
And I think that Cori just kind of spends this whole time planning, scheming, planning.
Okay. Sounds good. So were your questions for Alira basically just like letting her know what your plan was?
To some degree. I think at some point she'd ask her about the Raven Queen.
And Alira seems very tired when you bring up the Raven Queen to her. And she says, she was so bright. A prodigy when it came to mastering the weave. It was a shame to watch her fall to such heights.
Is there anything that can be done for her?
Possibly. Anything that could be is well outside of my wheelhouse. She's sick. As am I, but in a different sense. And unless that sickness is terminal, there's usually a cure. In my case, the cure is all of you. Fixing whatever it is that Caius has done. If there is a cure for the Raven Queen, perhaps it will be you as well.
Cori just sort of nods, kind of internalizes that. When you go back to the Feywild, if you see Cypress, can you tell him that I'll be there soon?
I believe if I see Cypress, it will be a lot more of a dangerous situation than we both understand. His powers stretched from just winter to taking over fall and soon summer. If he gains any of the other artifacts of the seasons, he will be incredibly powerful.
You've been watching us, right?
She nods.
So you know about my quest, what I have to do, regaining my seasons.
She nods.
The Raven Queen said that this would teach me how to tame the primordial Fae, as Corlon did long ago. And I am 3 seasons in, and I'm not entirely certain what I was supposed to learn.
And she says, for spring, you learned about possibility. Sol showed you things that were glimpses into new realities, other ideas, possibilities. Isn't that what spring is? In summer, you learn to withstand the heat. You found yourself. You had to trust yourself beyond all else, that you would come again. You learned the way that things were. You first began to learn names. Fall? Sometimes in order to grow, things need to die.
I see.
In winter, Winter is a lesson in and of itself. You walk a treacherous path, rife with danger, all of you. And to find winter. To find winter, you will need to make amends.
Amends with who?
Yourself.
Thank you for your wisdom.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak to this old biddy. Cookie?
Oh, yes.
No, they're hate cookies. Stop it.
Not these
They're
ones.
They're hate cookies. You can't put hate in a cookie.
Fucking talk to Wolf. Yes, you can.
What else do you call oatmeal raisin?
It's true.
Fair enough.
I love oatmeal raisins. It's my favorite.
I have never felt so betrayed. Indoor, you did not tell me I'd be sharing this call.
Why do you think they call me
Even-
Indoor what the fuck? It's because I actively hate raisins.
Listen, you're all welcome to have your wrong opinion.
Are we talking about oatmeal raisin cookies?
Yep. Yes, we were.
You are all entitled to your wrong opinion.
So, in the tea room, Arjhan and Caelum, what are you two discussing? Or are you just like hanging out in this new house of yours, just drinking tea?
I don't really know what to do.
Well, the ball is in Cori's seasonal court, so it's really up to her. If we have to go to the Feywild to stop winter from overtaking spring, so be it. I'm just worried that while we're gone, this plague is going to spread out of control. I was thinking of contacting people tomorrow. Send out a warning. It'll be 25 words or less, but it's the best we got right now.
I guess I also have to send out a company memo.
Is this situation going to affect your health insurance premiums, or do your employees not get that?
I don't know, the company hasn't really made enough money to provide health insurance, but something to jump on. We do have a shit ton of money that I can inject into the company.
Well, do what you need to do. I don't think we're going to be using it for much. Unless something obscenely shiny crosses our path.
Well, I was saving this money so that I could buy each of you a house, but apparently we're just being given them now.
Could you portion out aside for me then? I was thinking about going back and, when all this is over, building the Temple of Saloon over again.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna go see what this house can do.
Me too. We'll get up and I guess go in the direction that Gwen and Phillip went.
So you know that they went upstairs. As far as which door, you aren't sure which door they actually went into. From this upstairs vantage point, you just see long hallway and doors on the right and left-hand side.
Gideon, could you provide name placards on each of the doors as they are claimed?
And as you say this, name placards appear. And on one, you see Gwen Stompfoot. And then there is another placard that's currently hanging by a piece of twine that says Phillip Spicebottom.
Arjhan reaches into his pack and pulls out a sock and puts it on the doorknob.
Smart.
This one, I guess. And Arjhan will open up one of the doors.
Okay. And you get you hear around you, register user.
Arjhan.
Registered. Size category: small, medium, large.
Large.
And a room just as large as Gwen's room extends out in all directions from the room that you are currently in until it is about a 30 by 30 room.
Oh. May have made this a bit too big. Oh well. Yeah, he'll go in, and after a few minutes, it's going to look like a stone and lumber log cabin, fairly Spartan. A bed, a table, not much more. And he's going to sit down at the table, and he's going to start filling up stuff. Number one, explain the situation. And putting in orders for what will eventually become obviator lenses, and also ways to prevent Kai's infections to start being researched.
Okay.
Both between Tyrant Security and also Dragon Stress.
Alrighty. Sounds good. And so Arjhan is currently doing paperwork in his room. Caelum, you've already registered yourself as a resident of this house. So you have the means of going into one of your rooms, decorating it as you see fit. And then you also said you wanted to find out what this house could do.
Yeah, but first, Cam will ask if Gideon can change the room shape.
It can.
He'd like a sort of 3-wall on one side and a semicircle that leads out to windows.
It will ask you what you would like to have the windows show.
Grassy field, night sky.
And so it is.
And he'll ask for library shelves to be filled on either side of the room, a desk, and a sitting chair in front of the windows, and he'll just set his shield down on it.
Oh. You are more than able to do this.
After that, he will step out into the hallway and... Gideon, I have a spell in my possession called Encode Thoughts. Would you be able to read them and form pictures?
Um...
Does the spell know... Does the house know Detect Thought?
The house does not know Detect Thoughts.
Okay. Well, he'll pull out a glass orb and then start shunting pictures into it with photography.
Okay.
And then he'll show Gideon to put paintings on the wall.
Yeah. Gideon will more than happily put paintings up on the wall. And is this in your room or like throughout the house?
Throughout the house.
Okay.
There's a couple of scenes. One is Gwen inside of a brass bricked room, slashing at some dwarves that are set on fire. Another one is Cori McCoth standing in front of a giant heart. And it's basically just events that the Four Keeps have done.
Okay.
But Caelum's not in them because they're all from his perspective.
Oh. There's one of Arjhan and the rest of the crew.
I don't even think Caelum's met Arjhan.
No, he was unconscious during that entire time. Well, most of that entire time. It's fine. So then the last person to decorate their room is Cori.
I think that at some point, whilst she's down in the living room, she absent-mindedly has Gideon conjure a bonsai, just to sit in a windowsill. So it's a bonsai tree, but like it reflects whatever season she's in. And she's never actually taken a room in taverns and things. So I think that when she walks in, she feels a little weird about it at first. And after about half an hour or so, by the time she leaves the room, it is literally like you open the door to go into her room and it's just like an outdoor scene.
Yeah.
It's a hill with a tree on it. And likewise, the tree also reflects whatever her seasonal state is.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was going to say, like, is it like you open up the door and it's the roof of an inn? Like, immediate, like, slanted floors. Like, looking off in the distance, you can see the tree and everything else like that. And it's more of like a panoramic view.
That's actually really cool. I think that Cori really values her memories. And the hill with the tree is a specific memory that she has from the Feywild. I think that every time she does open that door, it's going to be a different memory that she steps into.
Okay. Yeah, basically just autofill Gideon with your shuffle, and they will do their best to surprise you when they possibly can.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because, like, Caelum was doing this thing where he was writing a journal because he was afraid that he would lose his memories, etc., etc. I think that whenever Cori goes in there to trance, she's basically just loading Gideon with her memories so that she can revisit them when she feels.
All right. Sounds good. And as you all each take your own rooms, and Gwen and Phillip, you are all able to share your snooze time hours away from Gideon and the rest of the party, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stop by. Thank you to these wonderful players. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com and pick yourself up something nice. And we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Steven! This is a Caius infection checkpoint. Have you gotten tested? Do you have your Caius infection safety gear at the ready? All right? I'm going to need to know that you have the appropriate safety gear as mandated by the Lord Keeper. This is my roommate's. She's petite. I'm not going to rip it. What I am going to do is wear my safety equipment. Are you safe?
I don't feel
You should
safe.
be.
Oh god.
And in the
I'm so
event,
scared.
in the event that you don't have semi-functioning safety equipment like I do, A standard mask will do. To keep, only you can prevent the spread of Caius's influence on Alira.
I feel so sorry for our like Spotify listeners because they missed such great gags.
This is why you watch the show. Oh my god.
Wear your damn mask!
Episode 101 on YouTube. Go look it up. That was great.
That was fantastic. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, Gwen and Phillip, y'all are in the after throes now. It is fine.
Yep.
Things have been great. You can open up a window and let some of the stank out.
Back away. Bye.
Cori has set up her room. Caelum and Arjhan have both set up their rooms as well. And you all hear the sound that food is ready. It seems like Alira has taken some time to make you all dinner, or an early breakfast of sorts. And you are able to consume this meal. During this time as well, Alira also takes some small bowls outside for Cybra as well as for Todd, and makes sure to feed them as well. But is there anything that you would like to discuss over dinner? Gwen and Phillip, I would say, are probably both like little flushed. You know, they're glowing, but nobody's gonna draw.
Yeah, Phillip would have done his best to put himself together. I can't speak for Gwen though.
If she saw him like putting himself together, she might like re-braid her hair. But that's about it. As
you do. So over dinner, once again, Alira reminds you that your current house, the Manor of Moon's Tier, or as you are able to know them, Gideon, is able to go up to 8 different locations, as long as they are places that you are familiar with. So as long as you have something there that you can basically hone in on, you are able to then go to that place without any issue. Gideon is also able to teleport to spell circles. In such a situation, rather than the entire house appearing, it would instead just be a glowing door frame that you all would be able to then walk out of. After you exit, the door frame closes, in which case to find Gideon again, you need to go to a door that has a silver handle, knock 3 times, and then insert Gideon's key into the keyhole, turn it, open it, and you would find yourself once again back inside of Gideon. So regardless of the setting that you are in, home is relatively close, as long as it's similar furnishings. So, with that in mind, Gideon has, as long as you are on the material plane, you can move freely, but it is going between planes. So once you are on a new plane, say the Hells or the Feywild, if there are locations within the Hells or the Feywild that you are familiar, as long as Gideon has made it there already, they will be able to move without error. But then moving back to a different plane, such as the material plane, would then require an additional check of sorts. When you do transfer planes, when/if, roll a d20, whoever is in charge of navigation. On a roll of 1 through 5, Gideon isn't able to transfer, and you guys actually stay where you were for the last for the next 24 hours. So if you fail and are like trying to use this as an escape route, the house will stay where it once is. As long as you are going towards somewhere that is outside, say the Bean Leg in Greenreach, the house will manifest just as a inconspicuous looking other house. But for the most part, as long as you aren't like trying to summon a house into a room, it will generally work out okay. And when after Alira is done telling you this, she will take you. It is actually there's a doorway underneath the stairs, and it does look inconspicuous as well. It seems to be almost flesh against the wall with a small little ringlet that you can use to open up the door, set of stairs that lead down. And then there is a greenish looking orb that seems to have a kind of blown up fisheye lens view of the map of the region. And looking inside of this room as well, you can see that there is a full map of the world. You see your country, you see the warring nations below, you see the open sea that has a plethora of small island chains kind of to the south in between what looks like another entire continent that none of you have ever been to before. I don't think any of you would have even asked to know what the names of any of these other places are, except for the Warring Kingdoms and the Isles of Alestria that are kind of the halfway point. And then on the other side of the landmass of your country, you can see it kind of opens up again into what looks like, again, another country sort of on your same landmass, more sea, and you think that it just sort of extends around again. Based off of your idea that your world is a globe. It's a spherical shape. So when setting these different locations, you simply need to stand before the map, think of the place that you are familiar with, and then Arjhan, you would recognize this as a base form of cartography skills for your business, that this is an easy way to get from point A to point B.
Taking note of that, forwarding it to R&D. So,
places that you are familiar with, I have a few things that are written down to kind of give you guys some ideas of other places, such as the Bean Leg in Greenreach. Makath has one of Arjhan's scales still, from way back when you first met her. The Grove of the Hermit, where Cori's arm turned into a tree. Rasa's treasure hoard in the Astral Sea, as there is a place, but as stated, no. And then there are also spell circles, and spell circles do not count towards your overall count of 8 of places that you are familiar with. So are there any other places that you all would like to add into the registry for places that you are familiar with?
Let me get the map.
My house.
In the middle of the street?
It's in the middle of somewhere.
Can we figure out a way to get it to go to the tribe?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Are we setting up fast travel points?
Yes. You guys get to custom set your own fast travel points, and if you are at any time familiar with more places than 8 listed, you can cycle them out, but then you lose access to fast travel to those other places.
My God.
Farron's grave at Gillet.
Okay.
Is my home in the Feywild a viable option?
It would be.
Okay. Probably not going to try that until we have Cori's final season, though.
Dragon's Drafts and the Isle of Arask.
Okay.
Are we familiar with the new location of Dragon's Drafts?
You're familiar with the old one.
Should we omit that then until we're familiar where the new one is?
Why don't we say like around like Arask's place?
The field near Arath's house.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just pop the home there and crush all of his flowers. It'll be fine.
He hasn't.
Is the teleportation invasive or is it?
From your understanding, it essentially is like in Futurama, how the ship doesn't move fast, it moves everything else around it quickly. The same way as your house appearing somewhere, it sort of pushes the reality of everything else around it. So that way it can just sort of find a home for itself.
Basically just folding 2 points together.
Yeah.
So we can't drop a house on a hat.
You cannot. I mean, you could, but that takes place in a different plane that's ruled by a benevolent question answer. Long live Oz. There is no war in the Emerald City. All right, so Greenreach, Makoth's, Grove of the Hermit, the tribe, Cori's house, a field, and then you have
house.
Arjhan's house. Arjhan, where was your house? On
At
Arath?
the tower.
Oh, yes.
We already have a spell. I could use the spell circle for Saloon's Temple instead of designating it as a quick travel spot, right?
Yeah.
It's an addition. Okay.
Is it like a handy haversack inside a bag of holding situation to put a spell circle inside of Gideon?
I'd have to stay there for a year to permanent it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would the mines outside of Marysville be okay?
Mine's outside of Marysville.
Yeah, because
Oh,
there was
yeah.
the small collection. You could.
I got Marysville mixed up with Search earlier.
Marysville's where we fought the Ublex.
Yep.
Okay, and the Marysville Mines. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
And we could cycle these out at any time, right?
Yeah. It's just places with which you are familiar. And it is effectively like you have to have like planted something there or done something of note there to be able to then go to that place. So like with the mines of Marysville, good job picking the mines. You've done stuff there, but might not land exactly there versus like Farron's Grave, which is much more of like a thing that you are much more closely aligned to.
Okay. So it's more of a focus sort of thing. Got it.
Sort of like how when you use the teleport spell, you need to have something with which you are familiar that you're teleporting to.
Gideon,
Yes. Caelum.
what are your options for security versus home intruders?
Currently the way of defense that it has set up against home intruders is the same thing that happened to you all when you were designated as home intruders coming into Gideon.
Extend to hallways.
Yep. It labyrinths itself.
When we get to it, I'll pick up guards and wards.
Can we, like, give you a list of people who are chill to be here?
Of course.
Solid. Phillip School.
Registered resident. Phillip Spicebottom.
Is there a max cap on residency, or do they get a visitor's pass?
Visitor's pass.
Visitor's pass. Okay.
There is no there's not necessarily a cap on the number of visitors. But again, it's sort of like labyrinths itself. So if you have more visitors than like you can see down a hallway, who knows where they're going.
We went from small business sim to home ownership sim.
So
This is a fantasy.
you guys own a small business, you have a house. You didn't even have to put down a down payment. This is great.
We just have to put down blood.
Same thing.
All right, so
Right.
dawn of the next day, as you guys are figuring out everything, if there's anything that you all wanted to do over the evening, you are more than welcome to do so.
Roll my final D100 on the spear.
Okay.
Hey! I ended up with a 69.
Hell yeah!
And that's how you finish a magic item.
Hell yeah. So you finish your magic item, no problem. However, there was that issue of there being a minor flaw in its design.
Yeah.
Every time you use it, you will take 5 points of piercing damage.
Sick.
Damn.
Like the gun from Death Stranding.
I haven't played that game, but I will take your word for it.
Like blood bullets from Bloodborne.
Sure.
Sure.
That mechanic. Haven't made it that far. You know what? Now I'm feeling bad about things I haven't played, so let's go back to D&D.
Hey, oh my god, I forgot the name of the house already.
Gideon.
Gideon.
Yes.
Hey, Gideon, can you, like, make whatever food we want?
Yes.
Can you, like, get us, like, so we can make food? Like get us supplies and we'll make food?
Yes.
Hey, Phillip.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make them, like, a traditional halfling dinner?
Breakfast.
Dinner? For later?
I think that'd be lovely.
Hey, guys, we're staying for dinner!
Well, do you have time? It sounds like you have things to do.
This is a pocket dimension. We have all the time in the world, right?
Caelum shakes his head.
Oh. Lunch?
Brunch.
Brunch?
I still need to send out the sendings.
11sies?
Can you pack something for the road?
Yeah.
If I
That'd be
step
good.
outside, is that gonna fuck anything up?
No.
All right, Cori's
Or he
gonna.
comes back in and we're all like 100.
Okay, so
It's been 84 years.
this was previous evening. Was there any evening things that needed to get done? You were talking about setting points, all of that sort of thing over dinner, nightfall, Arjhan.
Tiamat, who art in hell, many be thy heads. Yeah, just another check-in. Especially with the news about Caius.
Make a religion check.
$11.
Okay. There is the feeling that your warning has been sent, has not been read yet.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. So then following morning, that is when Gwen and Phillip are going to be making a traditional halfling brunch for people. Arjhan, are you still working on paperwork, or did you have anything else that you wanted to do?
I hope that I would have sent the paperwork.
Okay. Sent the paperwork. Got it. Anything else that you wanted to do?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, nope.
Gotcha. Cori, you were going outside checking on the location of the last season?
Yes.
Okay. So as you go outside, you are in the same small clearing as you remember entering into this house from. It seems like you are back on the material plane. You no longer get the sense of Fey bullshit as heavily. Obviously, there is still a hint of Fey TM about this place, as you are next to this mystical, magical house. But all things considered, you are on the material plane. It is early morning of the 3rd day of the month. Sun is risen.
Is this the first day of 8, or do we now have 7 days?
This is the first day of 8.
Okay. Cori will check her corvid skull.
So when you go to check the corvid skull, and do you usually just like hold it up and then it points? Do you rest it in your palm and wait for it to like levitate and point? How does Cori normally do this?
It's typically a, like, hold it up and then let it... it's the flat side. Hold it up and then let it point in a particular direction.
Okay. As you hold it up, it doesn't move. It doesn't actually change direction or indicate much of anything at all. And as you look at it, it almost seems like it has lost an air of magic to it.
She kind of nudges it, shakes it a little bit, and then, like, you know, points it in particular directions. He's like, come on, you know how this works. She's going to start pacing around the outside of the building in a clearly agitated fashion.
And as you pace, it points in no direction. All right.
Resummon Ampleforth and see if he's got any news from Father.
And your letter was letting him know that you were going to be coming home soon.
Yes.
So in his letter, he describes how excited he is to see his favorite daughter come back home. And he lets you know that his project is finished, that you will no longer be a hand down, that he is fixed working on it. There were some setbacks, so don't be surprised when you see your old man, but
oh no.
it has been fixed, and for that he is glad.
God, she really does take after him. This cheers her up slightly. But she'll basically stalk back into the building.
Okay. And Caelum, was there anything that you wanted to do in your morning while Gwen and Phillip were making a nice halfling brunch?
I have 5 more words to figure out.
Okay.
No, 2 more words. Never mind. He's gonna use sending and contact McCoth, Prescott, and Arask. So that's 3 third-level spells.
Okay.
But he's sending the same message, and it reads, beware Caius, the worm that walks. His corruption is spreading across the Alira. Beware the black worms. They are his agent. Signed, Caelum.
You verbally say signed Caelum?
No. As a throw-in, this is Caelum.
Okay. The real Caelum. So yeah, Arask isn't sure what this means, but he will do his best to be at the ready. Prescott actually is very affirmative. He doesn't know who this Caius is, but he will fight by your side. And McCoth just responds with interesting. I'll see what I can find out.
How are things going on your end, Cori?
She, like, looks at him a little bit too sharply, and she'll tuck the corvid skull away. I'm getting nothing.
Like, no direction, or...
I'm getting nothing.
Right. We have 7 days.
8 days. But we might as well consider it 7 days, because if 7 days pass and I don't have my season back, I'm going back to the Feywild.
Might be time to give a talk to the Raven Queen about your missing season then?
Perhaps. It is her skull. So it is her that I have qualms with.
Can I detect magic on the skull? See if it's lost its luster?
You can. And after a successful casting of Detect Magic, it is just a skull.
Has this happened before? Because I remember using Detect Magic on it beforehand.
Yeah. And it did radiate some sort of magic.
The skull's lost its properties, Cori. Maybe she's holding on to the last one.
Perhaps. How close can we get to her?
Let's check the map.
It's got to be Hotter Eyes. The Hermit's Grove, yeah?
That still would put us off by about a week or two.
Then Arjhan's Tower.
That is farther south.
That's
Oh.
farther south, yeah.
I never actually had a great idea of where Arjhan's Tower was.
Sorry, where are we trying to go?
The Rookery.
Oh.
Northwest. Wild idea. What if she hopped planes and put your season in the Feywild?
That's entirely likely.
Well, like I told Arjhan, the ball's in your court. We'll go with whatever decision you want.
How long does it take to move the manor?
You have not moved it yet. You are not sure.
Okay.
Lyra,
This lady is like keeps like trying to like leave with her bags and then huh?
you forgot this, Grandmama. Hug her.
Thank you. Yes.
How long does it typically take for the manor to move itself? Is it...
Depends on where you're moving it to. Some places are relatively instantaneous. Others takes upwards of an hour or so.
It's a mite better than days and weeks.
It's a rather useful house. One of my finest creations. Now, I trust you and everyone else that's still residing in there.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. And Caelum will turn and run back into the house. Hey, maybe
She
we don't
just
have to go.
walks off.
Maybe we don't have to go to the Rookery. We could go to the Hermitage. Hadorai has a spell there. Contact other plane. We could use it to talk to her.
Sure that that's a good idea.
I mean, it beats walking all the way to the Hermitage, or to the Rookery.
Okay.
She likely isn't going to be pleased with me. I haven't delivered on my side of the bargain, and I honestly don't intend to.
I mean, wasn't one of the stipulations that you get back all your seasons? So technically speaking, she hasn't fulfilled her side either.
It is not uncommon to withhold final payment until services have been rendered.
figure not going to fight in the Feywild at full strength is the play.
Winter is arguably going to be the most important season to have. If we can't tame winter, then a peaceful resolution, I don't think, will be possible. We will save the Feywild, but we would have to turn the primordials against one another.
That's bad, right?
Oh, it would throw everything out of balance.
Just checking.
Alira said that I had to make amends with myself.
Only you would know what that means.
There are many things that could mean. We have only 7 days.
Looks like you might need to go do some soul searching.
Cori's gonna go elf off.
Okay. Phillip and Gwen, y'all have been making halfling brunch?
Mm-hmm.
What does halfling brunch look like? Do you tell me?
Oh boy, it is eggs and bacon and sausage and cheeses. There's like a fondue type deal. There's zero vegetables involved. Just all meats and cheeses and
Not even a potato?
carbs. Oh, there's yeah. There's the potato is a starch.
Yeah, it's not a real vegetable.
It's not a real vegetable. But Gwen will turn to Phillip while they're like sauteing something and just be like, "So like, have you thought about the whole betrothed thing since you left?"
Oh, yes, every night.
Really?
Well, of course. I mean, the entire reason I left Greenreach and was to search for you, and then when I found you, I realized that I had a lot of growing to do, and so this is me out in the world finding purpose and being somebody you'd be proud to marry.
Like, you know, you got my letter about the whole saving Greenreach thing, so your family and my family are like we don't have to.
I know.
You
You
still-
don't have to do anything, Gwen.
Well, yeah. But like, you still want to?
I thought that even you would understand the subtleties of what I want. I mean, would I really have done what we did last night if I didn't want to?
Well, I mean, it doesn't always have to. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Cool. Are you ready to be like the chiefstress of a tribe of Goliaths?
It'd
Well,
still be
I-
chief.
Shut up.
I imagine you're much more qualified than I am for that, but I'd keep an open mind.
Oh. Gwen's just like frying. Trying not to smile.
He seems really nice.
Shut up, Grayskull.
No, seriously.
What was that,
seems
Gwen?
like a real keeper.
Oh, sorry. It's just the spirits in my head are speaking up when not asked.
Speak your heart's truth. Let him know.
Okay, so like you're gonna go back to Shroudport after this, right?
I have to.
And I have to go to the Feywild. I promised Cori, I pledged myself to her that I would do this.
Somebody has to help this plane hold out while the real heroes are saving another.
You
It's
are
the
a
least
real
I
hero.
can do.
Definitely a real hero.
I'm trying to be.
And, you know, if you want to, like, call this whole betrothal thing, like, legit, I guess I could, like, chill out on the whole seeing other people thing.
Only if that's what you want, Gwen. I'm doing what I'm doing so that I'm not holding you back.
I guess I'll try not to die. Although I haven't died, so like I'm the only one in the group, so odds are pretty good.
Yes, let's keep it that way, please.
Cool. The potatoes are boiling. You should probably take care of that.
Oh, gods! Phillip takes care of the potatoes.
Okay. So, potatoes and the rest of the foods are done and ready by the time that you guys have sent off all of your sendings, checked the Corvid skull, or just enjoyed kind of a nice stress-free morning. Play with Cybra a little bit, I assume. That sort of thing. Alira has just crept off after having been asked questions several times, but she's good now. And so you all now have full access to Gideon, as well as the transportation abilities therein. So, for breakfast, Caelum and Cori, you both notice that there is a fierce lack of vegetables as far as dietary needs are met. But Gideon has vegetables on hand, but it's like a veggie plate. Like it's like the baby like a small container of like baby carrots, celery, cauliflower, and then like a
Cherry
dipping
tomatoes.
yeah, like a little like dipping container of ranch in the middle, that sort of thing. But
Gwen is like, ah. She's never cooked for you guys before. She's very eager for you guys to try your food.
Caelum just turns to Cori. She doesn't know that we don't really eat, right?
Speak for yourself. Cori's gonna reach out and just start piling up a plate.
It's the polite thing. Small portions of everything. Just...
Well,
Gwen, this is going to be a survival check for cooking. You will have advantage because Phillip was helping you.
I got a 22 on the first one.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
22.
say, if they rolled poorly enough, then we'd have to make a survival check.
Yeah. Now that's a con save. But thankfully, Gwen is a surprisingly good cook. Like, no one has ever asked her to cook food before, but she does a great job.
I'm sorry. If one of the doodles that Danae did a while
It's a
back ago
rough
was the
time.
bacon incident.
It's been a long time since then.
Oh, it has been a long time since then.
I too was having flashbacks to that. I was all like, wait a second.
Ha!
Who made this bacon?
I did.
I don't believe you.
Why?
You remember last time?
Someone startled me and I accidentally flipped it in someone's face. That was not my fault.
Yeah, it was my face.
It healed.
Was that before or after the marrow?
After we were on the road.
After.
That's when I forgot that I couldn't swim because I jumped in right after Caelum. And then I was like, oh shit, I can't swim. But now I can, so it's all good. Phillip, I can swim, by the way.
I'm very proud.
Can you swim, Phillip?
Yes.
Phillip, can you not swim?
He has an actor feat.
And that's where it comes in.
Oh,
I
then
know
he
what
must
y'all
be
are
fine
talking
then.
about.
Everybody was so
Absolutely
nervous
bacon.
about my actor feat.
All right, so
It was Kais all along.
is the plan to leave Phillip near Shroudport?
We've got to test the house out somehow.
Yes.
Okay, so the nearest place that you have towards Shroudport would be the Marysville mines from the areas that you guys have set. Or you can use the spell circle in the town that is, or in the
JD
temple that
Creek.
is not that far away.
Still Creek's on the way.
But it's still too far for us to like go to, right? Still
Several
Creek from
days.
Marysville.
Yeah, Marysville is maybe like
A couple days at least.
Marysville was about 10, 12 days or so to Shroudport.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah, you guys had a couple stayovers in Silk Creek and
Yeah.
Dawngrass on your way there.
You've
Holy
got some
shit,
option-
Fateful Encounters, thank you for the raid.
Hello.
Hi.
They are big bears now. I don't know what that means, but we love you, big bears.
Oh wait,
so-
kitten, raid kitten, raid kitten. Say hi.
He's so sleepy though.
He is. He was taking a nap. Sorry.
Oh no.
You have awakened the boy.
Oh,
He's just falling asleep again.
He's like, what?
I think Rob's gonna go get his kitten. Chris, where is Chris?
Oh, there's Chris. Yay,
Also
Chris.
sleeping and
Yeah.
also upset.
Oh, airplane ears.
So wait, Phillip, where do you want to get dropped off?
Preferably as close to Shroudport as possible, but maybe not in Shroudport.
Right.
Well, we couldn't do. Well, If I could make a suggestion, the closest points we have are the Temple to Saloon and, well, the Marysville Mines. If we drop you off at the Marysville Mines, you can recruit a party there and then head down Shroudport.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be best.
Right. Definitely check in with Fang when you get there. I know he's like in the lower city, but like he knows us. We trust him. We can leave a message that we can leave a message that you're gonna come and in secret.
Yeah, I
Cool.
can do that.
Okay. So you guys are going to use some means of sending or somewhat to message Fang to let him know that Phillip is going to be on his way again. So yeah, you set your navigation course to the Marysville Mines, and you feel the house shift, and there is a kind of groaning of old wood and floorboards that just sound like they're creaking, similar to that chair. But coming from the entirety of the house, and as you look outside of the house itself, it's almost like there is like a rainbowish oil slick effect that seems to wrap around the house itself. And then it is dark. And you hear what sounds like metal against stone in a rhythmic sense.
Oh, we're in the actual mine. Gods damn it.
Oh.
That's what you set the house to go to.
You have to be very specific with these things, Caelum.
You know, I could just elf off right now.
Cori is seeking Todd's wisdom. She just like is holding his head and she's like, take care of him, Todd. I know you can do it.
Todd is trying to eat your sleeve.
Hold
Yes,
on.
I know I've got a chip on my shoulder, Todd. I'm trying to figure it out.
Caelum's gonna go downstairs and rewrite the Marysville mines to the split in the earth near Marysville.
Why don't we just set it to Silk Creek?
Let me get this straight. Like, a bunch of miners just saw this house appear.
They see an extra set of doors and like this weird house just like
And-
fits itself in the stone, and they're like
And just as quickly as it showed up, it's
gone.
great. Okay.
Silk Creek, well, the fields outside of Silk Creek.
Okay. You guys took a lot of time, set some pyres there. You're familiar with this place.
That's where we had a song written about us.
It's true.
Like,
True.
it's a big deal.
All right, there.
Okay. And I believe Silt Creek is also where you sent Reddick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you arrive in Silt Creek, or at least the fields outside of them. And as you open up the doors, you are just in this house, looking out across a old but familiar city at this point. It's been a long trip since you guys were here last, but looking out at it, you at least remember having fought off some ghosts and scarecrows and all sorts of other, like, what you thought were difficult enemies at the time. But now Cybra could take down, like, all of them, even the ghost. She's a good girl. So, Phillip, this is your stop.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming to my rescue, and well, I'll try to make sure you have a plane to come back to.
Hold up. And a heavy, like, little bag is gonna be tossed your way.
What's this?
Business expenses.
Oh,
100 platinum.
Holy shit.
thank you. I'll make sure to
Hire
recruit
people,
some-
get equipment.
Yeah, I'll make
Just
sure to
take-
recruit a capable party, and we'll keep you posted on what we find.
Caelum will also hand him a bag. It's not much, but it'll do in a pinch. There's also a little surprise in there for you.
What is it?
It's 3 healing potions and the Book of Many Kinks that was gifted a very long time ago.
Fucking ghost.
Getting some work in.
All right.
It's the
Cori,
D&D Kama Sutra.
Cori sets Todd down on the ground and touches foreheads with him.
When you give a affectionate headbutt towards Todd, there is a moment where you think it is going to be met with also affection, but Todd just slams your forehead against his. It's his way of being affectionate.
Cori accepts this with grace.
There's like the hash marks on your forehead from where this
Oh.
goat just headbutted you, but like
Oh, certainly. She gets knocked on her ass, but she's just like, yes,
The wisdom of Todd.
the wisdom of Todd. Apply directly to the forehead.
Gwen will go over and give Todd like a pat on the rump and just be like, take care of him, buddy. And then she'll kind of go up. She'll go up to Phillip. So, yeah, just be safe and, you know, make sure that you can trust the people you're with. Yeah.
Phillip kisses Gwen. And then after they kiss, he says, a proper goodbye this time.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
What a gentleman.
Still have to kick your ass at some point.
Yes, well, maybe I'll recruit a couple spirits to live in my head so that it's a fair fight.
Love to see it.
Please be careful.
Yeah.
Not too careful because you still need to kick ass, but
Right. We'll keep in touch now that you're not in a pocket dimension.
yeah. Save the Feywild.
Save the material plane.
Such big tasks for such little people.
The big in spirit. She gives you a Goliath salute.
What's that?
It kind of looks like the salute from Attack on Titan. Yeah.
Okay. Phillip does it too.
Oh. She kind of just like knocks his shoulder and then like steps back to her party members.
And Phillip waves one last goodbye, hops on Todd, and rides into the sunset.
It's like early morning.
Rides into the sunrise.
Gwen like is a little bit verklempt as he leaves.
All right, so Phillip has been dropped off in Silt Creek with a mission. What is the rest of your guys's? What are your guys's plans? There's no sense of where you need to go for your season. Is it to Hodorize you go?
I didn't think we'd get this far.
Yeah, no, I don't know. How long does it take to actually move the house since we've done it a couple of times now?
Honestly, it's pretty quick. You're looking at like a couple minutes tops.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, Cori says after an appropriate amount of time, 7 days.
7 days.
We gotta go.
Gwen, was that romance I saw?
What? I don't do romance. Kinda.
I don't know, that seemed awfully romantic.
I don't know. We kind of talked about it.
Could
Cori.
I also say there was a glass sphere in there for Phillip?
Yeah.
Didn't he already give him one?
No, I gave Corey's dad, not Corey's dad, Gwen's dad a family photo.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. You know, we just talked about it. Like when things settle down, might settle down.
If things ever settle down.
Yeah. Such is the life of an adventurer.
I mean, if we don't die, we retire, right?
That's so sweet, Gwen.
Shut up.
Thank you
For what?
for coming on this adventure with me.
Yeah, like I told you months ago. You're a true friend, Cori. I'd be willing to pledge my loyalty. And she looks to Arjhan. Instead of saying life, she said loyalty. To you and helping you.
She just nods gratefully. So, to Hodorize, Caelum?
Hadorai gets a sending that just says incoming.
Okay.
Can we only move the house a certain amount, like a day?
No.
No? Okay, solid. I just wanted to make sure before we like go hopping.
We're just gonna boot scoot boogie all over the place, man.
Oh yeah, That is why I gave you a house that can boot scoot boogie all over the place.
Cannot be stopped.
We're at that level.
Can't stop, won't stop. So, as your house upon this hill begins to dissipate, Phillip, looking back, you see a strong wind kind of curls over where the house is, and as it curls, it's almost like it is putting over a mask layer. Like you were just watching this house disappear as these kind of autumnal leaves seem to fall from where it once stood until there is no house. There is only the hill where once it stood. And the rest of your group arrives back at the Grove of the Hermit where you were 2 sessions ago. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say first and foremost, thank you, Rob, for joining us on this wonderful excursion. I always have a blast.
I don't just want to fuck your characters. I want to marry your characters.
I'm gonna romance you so fucking hard.
Thank you so much.
can
Fuck,
check.
marry, kill?
That's the third act of this
She's
play.
not Ghost. She's not Ghost.
So we can check Phillip's loyalty mission off our list.
Oh yeah. Now you have the ability to give him custom armor sets now. It's actually like kind of worth it. So with that, hey RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Battle Bikini on Phillip. Battle Bikini on Phillip. Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I stream and talk about the nerdy stuff in my life. I'm currently watching The Umbrella Academy, and it's a great time. You can catch me here on Sundays as Walmorn, the shifter barbarian fighter, in our noir version of the Tomb of Annihilation. Of course, here as Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric. In our homebrew campaign this week, I'm not doing much. On Sunday morning, I'll be over at the Hype Goblins channel playing a sad boy, warlock, human ranger. His name's Titus. I think they're going to break into an asylum. We run this block. TheNakedKingdom.com.
I'm LBHackEmUp. I got distracted by chat, Jordan. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 2 some Mass Effect because I want to get back into it. And then I'll be on Nerd Emergence. Well, no, I'll be on G Game Nights tomorrow evening. On Wednesday, I'll be on Nerd Emergence with Jordan with the PH, who's being distracting in chat. And then on Thursday, I'll be back on my channel with Lauren as we continue our Call of Cthulhu game. Super fun. If you missed our last stream, we played Suite 776, and it was terrifying for both of us. Lots of good gifts, lots of good clips. It's fantastic. And then on Friday, I'll be back on G Game Nights doing Neon Souls, where I play a character who can get anything, who is in love with the big beefy girl. And then on Sunday, I'll be on G Game Nights at 4, and then back on here for Tomb of Annihilation. Woo! DanaeKeener.com.
Oi. I'm Cyber. Most of my stuff you can find at cyber1201.live. That includes my Twitch channel. We just finished grinding away in Final Fantasy VII and finally finished that off and finished grinding for my actual fitness. Oof, owie. But man, I look so much better than I ever have in the rest of my life, because that's what Final Fantasy VII does to you, apparently. Archives of that go to YouTube. There's a whole bunch of stuff there, including a full playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 without commentary, in case you wanted to experience that. It's, man, did that take a while to do. There's a Patreon, there's merch, there's lots of cool stuff. You can also check out jabroni.tv. It's got a lot of cool streamers on there, and the Jabroni tabletop that has all those cool streamers and the streams they do, including this one. What's not on cyber101.live are the games that I'm in, which you found one of them. I'm here on Mondays playing Arjhan. I'm also here on Thursdays playing Arjhan, except I'm the DM for that game. It's Tyrant Security. It's that company that I've been talking about this game. We're about to start the 3rd chapter of that, and we gotta do some downtime. So I hope my players send me something real soon. Yeah. And also at some point, High Shelf Gaming, Rage Cross Seattle, that's going to happen once I hear back. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play as Coriander the Elven Paladin on Mondays during our 4 Keeps game, and on Sundays I play as Baz the Drow Rogue Fighter during Doom of Annihilation. DanaeKeener.com.
Hey, I'm Rob, or Bonus Stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob. You could find me at any one of those things on various places on the internet, like on Twitter at Bonus Stage Rob, or playing video games at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. It's just been Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll be honest. I'm not a variety streamer anymore. I'm just a Horizon Zero Dawn streamer. That's usually at 7 p.m. Eastern, or no, 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and really any night I have off of RPG stuff. But I'm also moving to England for a time, so I don't know how consistent that'll be because that's literally midnight over there. So follow me on Twitter, I guess. And when I'm not doing that, I'm doing TTRPG stuff. Like on Thursdays, I am on twitch.tv/runawayrobot_ playing Eli Briarwood, a hedgehog cleric. Yes, you heard me right. He's a hedgehog. That is in the Humblewood campaign setting, which is a lovely, lovely setting. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Fridays at twitch.tv/encounter roleplay. I am in an Apocalypse World game called Diesel Punks, which I play with our good friend Greybeard's Tavern and our other good friend Savvy Seaworth, and some more good friends like Marlo Bogwitch and Half Hours Hermit on Twitter. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fridays. And then on Sundays, I play in a Monster of the Week game with LB on twitch.tv/game nights, game with 2 G's and nights with a K. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern. I play Travis the Crooked, which was literally like just a steely boy. And then now a spell slinger, basically a warlock. It's great. My skeleton key is my spell focus. It's just, you'll love to see it. DanaeKeener.net. It's .com.
And hello, everybody. If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to catch up on all of our VODs, as well as some other stuff that I've put up there. Like if you missed our animated intro, there is just a dedicated YouTube link to go check that out. Or I did an unboxing for the Green Knight game that came out, published by A24. Really, it's more of me playing around in Photoshop and Premiere, having fun doing that again, as much as it is an unboxing. So if you just want to see some silly stuff like Dev Patel's face photoshopped to be really tiny or over a fox, you can check that out in the unboxing video. But for now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions, you can either post them into the side of the chat over meow, or join us on Discord in the link below, or that's also been dropped to the side chat. Ask them in our questions for the court's chat, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But I would like to say, before we end for the evening, thank you so much again to Rob for joining us on this wonderful adventure. Thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. And of course, thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!
I won't be kidnapped.